Good afternoon, everyone. So today, I'm going to be fishing this little pond. I've fished it a few times in the past and had some luck here. But one thing that's slightly difficult about it is this fountain right in the center makes a lot of noise. So I was kind of wanting to see how the new camera handles ambient noise like that. Also today, we're going to be fishing a really budget setup. This fishing rod I was able to pick up at a local thrift store for $5. So it's a medium heavy, fast action. It's a Gander Mt Vortex. I was doing some research on them because I'd heard the brand Gander Mountain. I think it got consumed by another entity, but kind of wanted to see what people were saying online about them before I picked it up. And there's a lot of mixed reviews. It seemed like a lot of people either loved or hated this thing. But the blank should be the same as 13 Fishing, which is my main fishing rod. So maybe it'll be pretty good. We'll see if it can land any fish today. Oh, we got a fish on. Nice. I'll give him a little drag, let him fight a bit. Don't want him flying off the hook. Nice, here we go. Big old bass. Take a picture of him real quick. Get him back out in the water. Oh, that hook was barely hanging on to him. I'm glad I loosened the drag. I think if I had tried fighting him too hard, he would have came straight off. But yeah, we'll get him back out here in the water. Swim off. Nice. So we caught him on the good old trusty speed worm. It seems to do really well down here in Florida, so gonna get it all straightened back out and we'll keep fishing. Okay, so we got that guy on the speed worm. It's a good old trusty lure down here in Florida, just purple and black. And we're using our thrift store rod, and it held up fairly well. The hook set wasn't perfect, but I think that was more on me not having the drag tight enough rather than on the rod. So hopefully we'll catch one or two more and kind of experiment with that. I've tightened the drag up pretty tight now, so we should be able to set the hook properly. But yeah, that was a good fish for the first one on this rod. Only got maybe about an hour to fish out here today, so I'm going to be out here for maybe another 30 minutes or so. Then I'm going to pack up and call it, but we've already got the one good fish. Maybe we can hook into one or two more before we end today. One other thing I did want to try out with this setup was I haven't used the Quantum Nitrous in a while, but I wanted to give it a go because I kind of want this to be a super budget setup that like I can just throw in the back of my truck and not worry if it gets taken. Because obviously this was our $5 rod. This reel was $20 on clearance from Dick's Sporting Goods, I believe. They're normally around $50, but they almost always have them on sale. And at least the time I'm talking about this, they're on clearance again for $20. Really good reel for the price too. There's some drawbacks and complaints I have about it. I won't like go super in depth in it here, but honestly, this setup, all in all, is a really decent setup for bass fishing, and it's really budget friendly. So I'm going to try and write up all the costs associated with this setup, and just kind of show that, like, I guess to catch a big bass, you don't necessarily need a $500 rod and reel setup and everything like that. You don't need fluorocarbon. I'm on 12-pound mono, all of that stuff. So kind of want to write up all the costs of that and just show what this budget setup costs. One thing I do really like about this rod, though, is it does have cork handles. A lot of the times when you start getting budget rods, you get like foam handles. So pretty good deal for this thing. I think even back in the day when you could buy them new, they were still a budget rod. Let's see a hit right there. See if we can get cast out to it. Try not to cast into these branches though. Oh, that was like right where it was. Okay. All right, everyone. I think that's going to be it for this fishing trip. Only had about an hour to fish, and we got the one fish. So, I mean, not bad. Wish I'd gotten more for the video, but at least we were able to test out this budget rod and reel combo, and honestly, it held up fairly well. I do actually really like this thing. I used to have this Quantum Nitrous on a ugly stick. I think it was a Tiger, maybe. And it was also a medium heavy, but it was much less sensitive and much heavier than this rod. So this one feels slightly higher quality than that. So just as a rough comparison. But yeah, honestly, for $5, can't complain. And I'll be fishing with this some more and seeing if we can land more fish. The one fish we did land, it was maybe a 2.5 pounder or so. It was fairly large, but not like a monster or huge or anything, but definitely a decent fish. So hopefully we'll hook into some more big ones with this rod and see how it holds up throughout the upcoming months and whatnot.